Jamaica News 24/7. Published June 17, 2017. Two separate systems, one in the Western Caribbean, the other in the Central Tropical Atlantic, could develop into tropical storms within the next few days, the National Hurricane Center said. The center said there's a 60% chance the Caribbean system will become a tropical storm within the next 5 days, and a 50% chance of development for the Atlantic one. The first storm, a slowly budding tropical system now in the Western Caribbean Sea, will slowly drift across the Yucatan Peninsula into the Gulf of Mexico over the next few days, AccuWeather said. As it passes over the Yucatan, torrential rainfall and mudslides are possible in Mexico, Belize and Guatemala. After emerging into the Gulf, the storm could potentially move toward the U.S. Gulf Coast. The storm is not forecast to become a hurricane, which occurs when winds reach 74 miles per hour. The tropical system in the central Atlantic is forecast to drift toward the islands of Dominica, Barbados, Martinique, St. Lucia and Grenada late this weekend. On average, there's one named storm in June in the Atlantic, Caribbean or Gulf of Mexico every other year, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said. It's not so uncommon to get a named storm in the Atlantic during June, Weather Underground said, noting Colin and Danielle developed during the month in 2016 and were the earliest C and D storms on record. But it's remarkable to have two potential tropical cyclones at the same time during mid-June, the website added. Jamaica News 24/7. Published June 17, 2017. Atlantic hurricane season is only 15 days old, but the ocean basin presently features two areas of disturbed weather that forecasters are monitoring for tropical development, one in the Caribbean and a second in the far eastern Atlantic Ocean. The prospects of the disturbance in the eastern Atlantic developing are low, so we will focus on the disturbed weather in the Caribbean that could evolve into Tropical Storm Brett next week in the Gulf of Mexico. Although there is presently no organized weather system in the area of concern in the Caribbean, models have consistently predicted storm development in the region, which then drifts into the Gulf of Mexico next week. The National Hurricane Center says there is a 50% chance a tropical depression or tropical storm will form within the next 5 days.